Slack channel, so
Yo. What's
Yo!
go.
Welcome. It's Tuesday. It's May 26th, the 26th of May edition of OUYA Dev Support Office Hours. My name is Bob. This is Jared.
Yo!
I forget this guy's name. It's Tim. It's Tim Groutman, everybody.
The Grok and Grotman.
T. Groutman.
Yeah.
Man, with the plan.
Mm-hmm.
What's
You
the
guys-
plan, Bob?
Well,
For your receipt check-ins.
yeah.
I think Eldon definitely wanted you to do a re-review, so that'll be preview of what's going to happen later in this broadcast.
Oh, man. Stay tuned after word from our sponsors.
Party golf.
Oh, is that live yet?
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. I think that is great.
Yeah, might be a future OUYA Presents. In fact, since you're going to probably ask what games we were playing, maybe you would like to start with talking about all the fun you've had in the office with party golf.
Party golf is fun. Think about if a banana was made out of golf ball material and you could play golf with a banana golf ball. Now imagine 4 of your friends playing with you and you're racing to the same hole with a banana. There's also there's mixed fruit party golf. There's
For proper vitamin intake.
and then other different game variations like just first in. What's another? It's fun. It's live.
It's a party.
Yeah. Have you played it, you guys?
Yeah, we actually played it with Julie in the office on Friday.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it was good times.
Did you play banana golf?
We started right before we had to jump into meetings, but I think Julie was playing with a family this weekend, or at least she was looking forward to it.
Dude, it's so good. Ian Dick asks, am I the first person to ask a question? No.
Question
Technically
answered.
not. Technically you are not.
No.
Let's surface that.
Well, this
Yeah.
hangout, but he preceded himself by asking it.
Yes.
Why is it in there twice?
That's right. The proper, yeah, so technically he was the first person to ask a question during this broadcast, but then he also became the second person. So to answer a second question,
Got it.
he was actually not the first. His previous self of 10 seconds earlier was the first. But
Or you could say yes and no.
yeah,
I thought he meant in general.
I think we covered the basis for all the questioning.
The first ever person.
But yeah, so
Q&A's working. Yeah.
Yeah, party golf is your game of choice, right? So what about you? What about you, Tim?
I didn't play any games this weekend.
That's
I
unheard
ran
of.
from my computer.
You taking some real world?
Yeah, I did the real life thing. I stayed away.
You leveled
It was
up.
tough.
You leveled up in RL.
Yeah.
So what sort of points did you earn?
What kind of experience?
Yeah.
Um.
You said you built a hammock, or you assembled
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Hammock at my parents' house.
Plus
Grilling
plus
thing.
1 intellect.
Yeah. +1 barbecue. +1 barbecue sauce.
That's plus 5 strength.
And +1 hammock.
The graphics in this game are incredible.
And +1 frisbee. Yeah.
Oh,
Are you talking about party? Are you talking about party golf or real life?
RL, real life, yeah. Well, you guys
There's definitely less HDR bloom in real life. Actually, where I am right now, it
Technically,
looks
see your screen.
really turned up.
Sorry,
That's a weird gum commercial.
Ryan's. Sorry, Jared. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just, not important. I was just saying that there's not as much HDR bloom in real life, although there seems to be a lot where I am right now.
Motion blur. There's a bit of motion blur in mine.
Yeah.
They handled the seasickness feeling that I was getting sometime early on, so I'm thankful for that.
Good times.
I got
myself-
seasickness in the hammock. The kids were like trying to flip us. It's pretty crazy.
For myself, I actually Yeah, it was a lot of real life this weekend. Did get to play some of the new Pack Full of Fun stuff, Playcast in the office, though. So enjoying some more of the Guiana Sisters Twisted Dreams. Checking that out. And you can play another version of Guiana Sisters native onto OUYA, or locally on OUYA as well, besides the streaming on Playcast. So that had a big update. Also, I did like the new Xenon pinball table added to Pinball Arcade.
Girl of the 21st Century, Xenon?
Maybe. I have to check.
Oh. Not the Disney Channel original movie.
No.
Okay.
Question from Ian Dillick. When will this game become available on OUYA? This RL thing sounds fun. It's available now, technically, on OUYA.
Yeah, you can get it.
You can do it around OUYA. It's a free download.
It's totally sandbox, though, so you have to be good at, like, self-motivating.
It's a lot like Amazing Frog, but with hospital bills. When you
And they put in a lot of emergent gameplay.
Yeah.
Whoever the creators are.
Depending on your vision, LOD can be a little messed up, but that's basically it. Cool.
For me, I ran 4.44 miles this weekend, which levels up, what, longevity? It was uphill, so I would say longevity.
That was all in one go, or do you take breaks?
Dude, all in one go. I'm training.
How fast?
I did. It's like a total of like 40 something minutes, but I did a 5K in 29 minutes, and like the competitive runner average is 28:45.
Oh, that's speedy.
Yeah, come at me, Tim. You can challenge.
Yeah.
We should race.
Well, I can do 1.2 miles in 26 minutes, so I'll be like 1 mile, and you'll be 5 miles.
Cool, man. You gotta start somewhere. Is this a real question from Kurt?
Can I upload an app that only supports API 16 plus?
So the OUYA is API 16, so if it works on OUYA, it's going to be that. So, yep, that's cool. That's the idea.
At first I read that quickly, I thought age rating. I was like, that's an interesting level.
Yeah, what is API 16 plus?
OUYA is running Android 4.1.2, and so when you build an Android app, you set the target platform, and it's 16. So that's in your Android manifest.
I learned something today.
Well done.
All the games have an Android manifest.
Do you think it's time for some more facts?
Yeah, facts time.
With just the facts?
Yeah, I'll
Jared Yeager.
All right, we got some facts. So, of course, headlining gaming front, we have the release of Party Golf Free to Try on OUYA. Good local multiplayer fun. Also, with updates mentioned before, Pinball Arcade, Playcast, packed full of fun with 2 new games, including Grid 2 and Guiana Sisters. Raiden Legacy had an update, so it could be on OUYA everywhere. Super Indie Carts had another update and is actually going to have another update this week. So expect to see that shortly. And I believe we are going to have the final version of Cat Lateral Damage releasing by Friday. So that will be popping out of the beta section into full release with all the other backer stuff added in there. So you got the little dogs images in there and the little cat images. So everyone who donated to have, or I guess gave money to see their pets in there, they'll get to see that all live, including myself, because I put in some money to see my dogs immortalized on the walls of that game. They can be smacked down by the cats. On the sales front, you can still get Indicate 2014 finalist I.O. for 50% off. Really good puzzle platformer fun, physics and changing size and shape. Also, Mitch Buried Challenge will be 50% off for the rest of the day with I.O. And then just started this morning, It'll Do, an early OUYA favorite, will be 25% off. Well, it is 25% off through next Tuesday. You can check all of those out. And then we are going to have a bundle from MDickie coming soon. We call it the Tag Team Bundle. That's going to feature Wrestling Revolution 3D, and Booking Revolution. Final price and TBD, but probably go live later this week.
That's so awesome.
If not early next week. So Hard Time you'd still have to buy individually, but again, it's free to try. So, and if you don't have time to actually check out a free demo, then watch the older OUYA Presents that Bob did for Hard Time. It's one of my favorite by far.
Hey,
that Twitch stream I've never maybe laughed more at a Twitch stream than that.
What are you gonna do when Hard Time rolls on you? Is that it? Anyways,
probably go, whoa, everything's gonna be all right. That song's amazing. Also, let's see here, going down the upcoming release list, Centris and Knight and Damsel should also be coming around the corner in the weeks ahead. And I know that Toe Temple is going to be having an update coming up, hopefully in a few weeks or within the next month. Same with, actually sooner than that, probably in the next week we'll also get one for, whoa, knocked my computer over in the bunker over here. We should get an update for, hold on, I lost my place in my tracker here, Hero Generation. So anyone who's experiencing any last remaining bugs, they should be covered on that one. And I believe, Bob, you might have another OUYA Presents in the works coming down the line, potentially, maybe.
There's so many in the works. So many.
Detailed preview from Bob.
Stay tuned.
Well done. Yeah, that's them's be the facts, yo. So yeah, good times. It looks like we have another question as well.
Ooh, I'll select it.
Do it.
Do you want to do the honors?
If you want me to read it, I can. This is from Kurt again. Do you guys have any UI framework I can use to speed up my port to OUYA? Example, Leanback Library or the TV UI framework that Amazon supplies in their API samples. I tried using Android Leanback, but it doesn't work for Android APIs lower than 17.
That's a great question.
Right. Yeah, because the OUYA is platform 16. So that happens. I mean, sometimes you can set a higher target platform, but it's just not going to, that Leanback specifically probably doesn't work on 16. So, I mean, there's UI frameworks for Unity and that kind of thing. So, I don't have any specifically to list out right now, but I use the built-in GUI system after Unity 4.6 for UI systems. And before that, I used NGUI. So that's what I used. He's talking about like straight Java UI type stuff. And I just stick with layouts and views for now for pure Android stuff.
So he's doing some native stuff? Is that what that is? Native?
Yeah, native, I think of native as like the C++ side of things, so, but he's doing Java, native Java kind of thing.
Cool. Good question, Kurt. Hopefully that helps. Feel free to clarify if need be.
Okay. I think there's even libgdx, so that's one UI library you could use.
Also looks like we have a shout out for Matthew Martino posted this as well. It's a Kickstarter for a game that's going to come to OUYA, Wii, and a few other platforms as well. Guardians of the Forest by Ratalaika Games. It looks like they may even have a demo version being submitted to OUYA. I think they were trying to go through QA before and had some stuff to fix. Speaking of which, there should be also a final version of not Hero Generation, but Royal Heroes also coming soon out of Free the Games campaign. That's pretty much it.
Nice. Thanks, Matthew. Guess now's a good time to grok with Grabman.
You got me with that picture again. Yeah, so we're going to talk about receipt checking. Most premium games, I mean, all of them really should, when the game starts, they do a receipt check. And I was going to show a little bit about receipt caching. So I have a little sample to show for that. I'll share my screen. Possibly. Okay, so Unity has a show products example for doing receipts and purchases and that kind of thing, and I just adapted it to do offline caching. So that's like offline would be if there's a network error or you don't have internet or something. You still want the game to work and find if they've unlocked the purchases. So the first thing to even get purchases working and receipt checking working is all scripts in Unity. If you want to attach them to a game object, derived from mono behavior. And then since our OUYA SDK is Android specific, we have these preprocessor defines to make sure that you're on the Android platform and not in the editor, because that would be, if you were on the editor, that would be running on Windows and Mac. You just want to be on the Android platform. And then we have these listeners that you can implement. So to do the checking for receipts and purchases, you want to do the iRequestPurchase listener and the iRequestReceipts listener. And once you derive from these, then it will require you to implement some methods. And also in your awake method, so if we go down a little bit here, okay, so in your awake method, you want to register your current class as a listener. So you're going to register the request purchase listener, which you pass a reference to this instance, and an instance to the receipts listener. And you'll do that for on awake and on destroy. And then that's all you need for the registration of stuff. So when you call the OUYA SDK to request receipts or request a purchase, it's going to invoke some callbacks. And by extending those interfaces, it requires you to implement a few different methods. Like if I scroll down here, there's request purchase on success. So when you do you request to buy a product, these are the callbacks that would happen. And if that purchase succeeds, it'll call it a success event. And here's one example of when you get a request purchase success event. If you want to cache the receipt, we have a OUYA SDK put game data, which will cache the receipt. Now, it's basically a string dictionary, and it saves it to a SQLite database. There's some nice things about this thing, because this will live if the user uninstalls your game and comes back later. It's a good, you can put your game saves and that kind of thing in here, and definitely your cached receipts. So we'll cache full game unlock and just set it equal to 1 in quotes. And that way, when we check receipts later, if for some reason the receipt check fails, we can check this cached receipt and make sure it's equal to 1. So if you request purchase and it failed, there's really nothing to do. And then if they canceled it, if the user canceled doing the purchase for some reason, we don't need to cache it in those cases. And then there's actually when you request receipts. So when you do a receipts request on success, you get a list of receipts, and you can loop through and look for specific receipts. And in this case, I'm just checking that a receipt exists. Your entitlements will show here. And if you do have receipts, we're just gonna, again, just like requesting a purchase, when that succeeds, we cache a receipt. And in the case that if you got a success event and there's no receipts in there, I actually want to remove the cached receipt. And that's a case that can happen if, like, say they bought the game and later they refunded it or something, that entitlement would go away, and you don't want to, you obviously want to remove their cached receipt. And then there's the other case, request receipts on failure. This callback is going to happen if the network's out or there's a network communication issue, and so you get an error code and an error message about why it failed. So if the internet wasn't there or something, you can still call OUYA SDK get game data, and that will pull the cache receipt, and if it's equal to 1, you just unlock it the full game, and that's something you'd add to check the receipt cache. And if they cancel the receipt, if for some reason checking receipts was canceled, again, you do the same thing. You could use the cache to see if they purchased the game before you unlock the full game. And there's another interesting thing. So, all right, so mono behavior scripts have a start event, and when they first start, this would be like a premium game, where in the start event, before you make any USDK in-app purchase calls, you want to wait for it to return is in-app purchase and it complete. That should return true before you request receipts. So you want to make sure you're doing this, and then so when it starts, it'll initially do the request for receipts, and then that'll automatically invoke the callbacks. And then later, there's a request purchase. So we have our registration, our callbacks, and then I just have, in the example, it's a GUI button, where when you click the button, that will call it to, it'll invoke requesting the purchase, and then those callbacks get invoked. So yeah, that's a little intro. In the show notes, I'll link to this example script, which is part of the Unity examples. And if you're using Unity, you'd use this. There's a similar thing for each of the languages for each game engine, which is very similar to this same setup. And yeah, so that's checking the cache for receipts.
Not to be confused with check into cache.
Yeah.
Which is this week's sponsor.
Tim will do, I think, takes 2% off the top when you do that through his services. So.
Yeah, but you get it all in cash. So
that's true. In Tim bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any cash. Yeah, I don't have a banking service. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim, will the OUYA firmware ever be updated to a newer version of Android? 4.1.2 is pretty old, and I'm just wondering.
I'd like that, because on newer versions of Android, it has better driver support, and we could support new controllers and stuff. There's not anything on the current roadmap, but that's not to say it won't ever happen.
Or is there? You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
Yeah. Just keep checking. I mean, the goal is to upgrade eventually, right? So yeah, it's just not in the current milestone.
Just keep swimming.
And some other things. If you're watching this today, you just missed the Fuse 75% off sale. But
how much was it?
Yeah, it was only like $26 or something instead of $100.
Dude, why didn't you tell me? I saw you using that yesterday, and I meant to like ping you about it.
Yeah, I added it to Steam. It was yep. It's got a whole bunch of new stuff in it too. So it's got new tops, new bottoms, new eyewear.
Your wardrobe right now.
And new masks, so you can have gas masks. So.
It's like Clueless, and you're Claire, and you're picking out your outfit to wear that day.
Yeah. So yes, new outfits, and new faces, new everything.
I can't believe I missed the sale.
Yeah, they run them a lot. Next time I find out in advance, I'll let you know. It was a 3-day Memorial Weekend sale.
It has mixed reviews. Why would it have mixed reviews? Is it just hard learning curve?
Yeah, well, it has a lot of good things, but when it gets to the animation, you have to use that goes over to the Mixamo site, and that's kind of a paid service. You don't animate directly in Fuse, but all your Fuse models are auto-rigged, so you can animate. So people pick it up, and they're like, "Oh, it doesn't animate." But it's more for putting characters together and making a lot of customized characters.
So you can't animate the characters without using Mixamo?
Right. So if I hit this animate button here, it'll upload the character to the site, and then I can add animations to it, but you have to buy those animations.
You
That's
can't
kind of
do your own custom ones with like C++ code.
Well, you can, but you still upload it to the site, and then they'll auto rig it. You can download that for free, and then you can rig it in like either Blender or Modo or one of those. Well, you animate it in Blender or Modo, but you have to do that yourself. And otherwise, you have to pay for the animations. And then they have new plans. Like the cheapest one is $25 a month, and you get 6 free animations.
As long as everything can Gangnam style.
Yeah, they have the Gangnam dance.
That's all I want. Gangnam style. Okay, guys.
Oh God, look at that face. What's wrong with your face?
What did you eat this week, Jared?
Not that face. Oh my God, that is grotesque. I had some actually delicious chicken, salt and pepper chicken barbecue, and fresh slices of watermelon. And our friends made this vodka-infused cranberry cooler drink with the cranberries still in the cup, and you bite them, and all the juice and vodka soaked in there kind of pops in your mouth. It's good stuff.
Dang. Okay. What about you, Timbo?
Oh, when I wasn't in the hammock, smoking Cornish hen
What?
and eating barbecued Cornish hen out of a smoking box.
What? This is an all ages program. You were, yes, barbecuing them in a smoking box. Those are the little hens.
Yeah, it was a good sized one. Yeah.
Cool. What about me?
What did you have, Bob?
Oh, I made. I think I may have already submitted this one before, but I did cruelty-free.
Yes, you have submitted the gordita before. We know this.
No, it's cruelty-free lettuce wraps, like peanuts, teriyaki. You put it on bib lettuce and you eat it like a taco.
So the lettuce didn't feel any pain,
It was cruelty-free. Yeah, the lettuce was humanely raised.
or never had a soul to
Let us
begin
able
with.
to graze freely in
Yeah.
an open field.
Everyone should watch Samsara and get back to me.
Let us have its hair combed every night.
So I think it's between. Wait, what did you say, Tim?
All right, so there's my
Oh,
dad
you
built this.
Yeah.
My dad built this box, and then coals slide in the bottom, and then you cook it in a smoking box. So it was a Cornish hen cooked in a smoking box.
I'm gonna give it to three-way tie. Three-way tie. This is the rare three-way tie.
I did have something unusual. Out of my parents' garden, they have hot lettuce, but it's a lot like hot mustard.
Whoa.
Pretty crazy.
Neat.
Or wasabi.
So not in that you let the lettuce sit in the sun all day.
Yeah, I was very cruel to it too.
It's not cool. Not cool,
Yeah, man, that's not nice. Okay, cool. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Do you want to hang out some other time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be back at our regularly scheduled OUYA office hours time on Monday at 11:30 a.m. PDT. Everyone always thinks PST, but since it's daylight savings time, it's PDT. So there you go.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Nice-
Check
nice-
you all next week,
yeah.
everybody.
Nice to
Bye.
see you. Bye.